Following up from last week's newsletter on stimulus package announcement number 1, we've had quite a few questions on what it actually means for yourselves as small business owners. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on what the announcement means for yourselves and how you can access that money. Number 1 is the instant asset write-off. So currently you can purchase any single item of plant and equipment up to $30,000, $33,000 including GST, and write it off and claim it immediately in that year for tax purposes. What they've announced is instead of having the $30,000 limit, they're going to increase the limit to $150,000. There's still some rules around motor vehicles and whatnot that they're figuring out, but again, as soon as we have the information, we'll pass it forward. Point number 2 and 3 is for anyone that is an employer. So if you have an employee, this applies to yourself. Point number 2 is in particular to wages tax that you withhold for your employees. When you pay your employees on a weekly, fortnightly, monthly basis, you pay them the net pay and you withhold their wages tax and you pay it forward to the tax office when you do your monthly or quarterly BAS lodgements. What they have announced is that you're actually entitled to keep some of that money. A minimum of $2,000 right up until $25,000 maximum is what you'll be entitled to. If you want to know the ins and outs of it, just give us a call. Tax planning will be crucial this year and we can assist you there and how you can save money. You don't actually have to do anything though. It will be self-calculated when you lodge your BAS. Number 3 is for those employers that have apprentices. So if you had an apprentice as at the 1st of March, you are entitled to a wage subsidy for that apprentice. So you need to fill out an application form and that isn't due, well, it isn't even opened until April the 2nd. So if you need any assistance with that, just let us know. And if you've got any questions on that further, again, give us a call and we'll try and assist you where we can. All right, what has happened since we have released the last newsletter about the stimulus package? So much. Things are changing quickly, things are changing every day, but the most important ones for yourselves at the moment would be around payroll tax and also around the big banks announcement. Payroll tax isn't applicable to anyone. If you haven't heard about it, it's probably because you aren't paying it and not required to. So there is a limit to how much you actually have to pay your employees before you pay an additional tax to the tax office. It's got nothing to do with point number 2 that we spoke about earlier. If you are paying payroll tax, we will let you know how this is going to work for yourself. Secondly, the banks have just recently announced, a lot of the big banks anyway, have announced that what they're going to be doing is they're going to be allowing deferrals of loan repayments for up to 6 months. And they're also slashing interest rates on business loans. And on top of that, they're actually slashing interest rates on home loans as well. So that may apply in both your areas if you are paying a home loan and if you have business loans. If you've got any other questions, please let us know. That's what we're here for. Things are changing quickly, and as soon as we get that information, we are trying to update you as soon as possible. We are updating our website with additional links almost every day. So make sure you've got our website browser as one of your top browsers there. We're releasing more video content on Instagram and Facebook if you are following us, just for some extra little tips here and there. For those business owners that are needing some extra assistance and want to go into depth on some of those topics a little further, we're going to be running some webinars. So our first ones are going to be targeted around the business continuity plans. So focusing on building up your war chest, how to build up your war chest, how to communicate with your team members effectively, giving you some agendas to run through with your team members as well. Planning for the worst so that you can alleviate some of that stress. Like I've said previously, what are we going to be doing in those worst case scenarios and how does that look? What happens then? When do we pull the trigger and whatnot? We're also going to be covering how to go remote. So if you're not already remote, we can assist you there. We've been using cloud sources for quite a long time now, so that's what we're here for as well. And lastly, what we're going to be doing when we've got a little bit of downtime. So once all the dark stuff is out of the way, we are going to be sitting back and thinking, how can we use this to our advantage? Where can we innovate? What can we do that we haven't been doing before, or something that we've been thinking of? Let's get that into plan now. And let's plan for when the market bounces back, because it's going to. This isn't going to be a long-term thing, and we want to make sure that you business owners are all ready for that when it comes and that we can jump straight back in and continue even better than we were before.